1.
All right, so welcome to our second and final review of the evening. It is a point-and-click adventure game called Dark Grim Mariupolis, and yet, in spite of its title, it isn't. It's less edge lord and more what the fuck.
Yeah, it is
Pretty much.
dark-ish. Like
And
the
it's pretty.
environments are, it's noir-ish,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
sort of psycho noir.
Yeah, like, I can't even tell what the hell is going on.
I'm like, that's very intentional. Right?
Mm-hmm.
As near as I did not play this game for as long as I would have liked to, but as near as I can tell, you are playing a chain-smoking detective with spiky hair and seems to be wearing a miniskirt and possibly is a robot, and his name is Thor.
Yeah, he is a robot from what I can garner here.
It definitely looks like
Mhm.
one, and they make it. You get an early comment about how something about drinking something or smoking something won't work because you're a robot, but then you do. I mean, the fugu cocktail has more or less the expected effects on you. Although I guess maybe if you were biological, it would have just killed you.
It's possible.
You have the removed head of a robot dinosaur or something living in your house.
Yeah, who suffered a brutal attack near a temple 6 months ago, and one of you,
Yes.
I'm like, I will note, in spite of the layers of surreal graphics and dense dialogue, it's still doing very, very traditional Adventure Quest stuff.
Yeah, you have to
Mhm.
find items, use items on certain objects, do dialogue trees with different characters. A lot of the puzzles are pretty much riddles, which this game is not written straightforwardly. The dialogue is often a little bit clunky, which is possibly partially because it's translated from Russian and partially
Mhm.
because it's intentionally written to be weird.
Yeah.
Well, it's also, in certain cases, obtuse, you know, on purpose as well, especially when it comes to the riddles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and yeah, I will say that's probably the most innovative thing this game is doing in terms of mechanics, because yeah, it's got, the thing to thing bread and butter of adventure game puzzles, and it's also got logic puzzles like activating the loudspeaker robots. That's less a reasoning puzzle, and that's more of a logic puzzle. I actually found a hint how to get past that, and it's you had to find out the average of the numbers in order to get it started.
Mm. But then, like, one of the early puzzles in the game is what's the architectural style of this building?
Right,
And
right.
you get a long, drawn out story that kind of tells you what the three possibilities are, but it's up to you to figure out. I mean, it's really early in the game, so there wasn't really a downside to just kind of trial and erroring it.
Mm-hmm.
But Adam
Mhm.
pointed out to me that there actually is a hint in the long story that
Yeah,
kind of tells you what the answer is. So
yeah,
if you can get your head in the right space for the riddles, there are answers.
yeah. It's more the logic problems I couldn't surmount. Like,
Mhm.
I'm trying to get this microphone from this robot. Um, that doesn't sound as odd as you might think it does. But it's like I have to figure out its reactivation code, and I think I know what I need to do, but I'm not exactly sure. Like, and I found the clue that corresponds, but I'm like, okay, I just couldn't quite work out the logic here, and this is where I got stuck. You know, unfortunate, but like I said, um, this game is underground enough where, yeah, there are very few hints, mostly on like the community page, and there's no guide, there's no walkthrough, at least not yet. Maybe one will show up, but right now, like looking online, you're not like, yeah, if you're gonna play this game, you're gonna have to figure out shit on your own.
Yeah.
Um, and I know that might be a deal breaker for some, but other people look for that shit. You know,
Yeah.
the pure and raw experience of adventure gaming and figuring shit out. You know, unfortunately, this was a really busy week, so you know, I just didn't have time to crack open all of the logical thought processes here. It's unfortunate, but it happens. Um, let's see. Music is interesting because
It's sort of low-key jazz with
and
it's almost always raining and you can hear that.
yeah, it's very white noise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of dozed off a little bit listening to the music, which I don't think is a bad thing necessarily. It's appropriately noir sounding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty understated and minimalist, and it's available for purchase too. You know, we'll detail that in the pricing. Like, it's like outside of the surreal nature of the game, the graphics are pretty, once again, minimalistic. You know, going for a bright white black contrast.
Yeah, it's all very high contrast, although with different color shades for different scenes and stuff.
Right. Couldn't tell you if they were going to use any color flourishes. That had not occurred in my playthrough, but you know, it could be there. Like, also underpinning the game is a lot of mythology, a lot of North mythology, a lot of Greco-Roman mythology, and I think their own mythology. Like, I don't know where they go. Like, I don't.
Yeah,
know.
I don't think the Pentatonic Temple is specifically based on any actual religion.
Yeah, or Pentaculus, the god of this world, or one of the gods anyway. You know, but
I mean, it's a world of robots mostly, so
yeah.
Who's gonna say what their religion is?
Yeah, but they do have like Vikings here, and Plato gets referenced. In fact, like the town was almost called Platoopolis instead of Mariupolis, that kind of deal. You know, the thing is, I'm not sure if this game is actually smart or just fucking pretentious.
Why not both?
I still think it's kind of if you're in the mood to think sideways for a little bit, I think it's a fun game to just experience.
Yeah. Just to experience the madness of it all.
Yeah. And as far as pricing goes, it'll run you $5.
And then the soundtrack is another $1, but you can get it in a bundle for a discount.
Yeah, $5.08, which obviously that's the price choice I'd recommend. It's like, I'm not sure if we got the soundtrack included with the.
I don't think so.
Yeah. That being said, it's like, it's not something that I felt I feel the soundtrack wasn't something I felt compelled to listen to outside the game, but it's not a bad soundtrack. And yeah, overall, this, you know, I'm kind of frustrated that I didn't get further into the game because I rather enjoy games like this. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's like it's not doing too much with like actual graphical you know, graphic point and click adventure game tropes outside of adding riddles to the mix, but you know, this game's really selling itself on like presentation more than anything else, and it certainly has a unique one that begs to be experienced.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Like, so any other thoughts on Mariupolis here?
At the very least, the stuff you do in this game is not stuff you're going to do in most other games.
That is,
Yeah,
that's
it's definitely not a conventional adventure game in terms of the stuff you do in it. Yeah, if you want to go through a strange, bizarre experience, I guess is something to check out.
Hmm. And again, it's priced, even if it's not super long, it's priced enough that it's worth it.
yeah. All right, so that'll about do it for the Fragments Silicon reviews for this week and the week ahead. So we do have a Tuesday show this week, as we'll be talking to Christian Molman of Ninja Dodo Games. They're the ones who sent us that Guppy game that we reviewed a few weeks ago. And he's done a lot of other projects, which is fortunate because Guppy was a pretty small game.
Yeah, again, apparently there were some features that we didn't play enough to uncover, but
Yeah, we'll see what the layers were. Like he'll have to tell us on that. Like, and on Wednesday, April 18th, we have Kara Holmes of Memory Park. Petty fan, this is all you.
Memory Park is the devs behind the fairly popular game Slime Rancher. So we'll mainly be talking about that.
that one.
Yes.
And did you get the code?
Yes, I did.
Because yeah, you're taking the lead on this since
Mhm.
you set it all up and they only gave us one code. So you know, make sure you are up to date on everything that Memory Park does and all that.
Mhm. Like
And
so far, I think Memory Park. I think Slime Rancher is the only thing under their exact label.
yeah,
But I'll see if there's like anything else members of the team have been involved in.
yeah, that kind of thing. Like so, and coming next week we have 3 games um, so far. Like maybe that'll change until Tuesday. I wish you good gaming.